Hello everyone, welcome to my video on the Redstone Repeater, and thank you for bearing with me through the last four, where I just mindlessly talk to you. Now I get to show you how to do stuff, now that you have a basic understanding of redstone. So this is the Redstone Repeater. It's crafted over here. That's the crafting recipe. The Redstone Repeater has a direction, so kind of like the sticky pistons or the normal pistons, if you've been playing around with those, where you're standing depends on what way it's facing. You'll see there's a faint arrow pattern on it, so that's what makes it important. If I stand here and go around in a circle, they're all facing away from me. The repeater is a very important piece. I can't think of a single major redstone invention I've done that didn't involve it. It makes the current go one way, it allows you to have timed delays, and have very strict direction. So here's what I mean by that. By one-way current, here I just have a wire with a redstone repeater in the middle. If I flick that lever, the current goes through, powers the repeater, and comes out the other side. But if I flick this one, it doesn't go into the repeater and it doesn't power this wire. This is why I usually build my OR logical gates that I discussed in a video somewhere over there. So that way, if I have current coming in through this wire, it goes here, it will go power something over here, but I don't want the power going back and then powering things that's not supposed to be over here. So this is why I use repeaters in my OR gates. This is an example of both the direction and the time delay. You'll see here that if I just have two redstone wires next to each other, they keep connecting, so I can't power one without powering the other. Repeaters allow that, so you'll see that this wire in the middle isn't connected to the repeaters on either side. In addition to that, you can have a delay on a repeater. So if I just put it on a random repeater, that will have a minute delay, fraction of a second, from when power gets to it and when it retransmits it. Now if you right-click on it, it moves that little thing back. This allows you to adjust the delay. So this is very little delay. This is about 1/10 of a second. This is about 2/10 of a second, and that's about 3/10 of a second. So here, these all have no delay, so they'll go very quickly, but not as quick as the wire. And here, these all have a little bit of delay, or a lot of delay, excuse me. You'll see once I flick that lever, the door will open, then the light will turn on, then the piston will push. And then, if I flick it again, it happens in reverse. Or not in reverse. It happens in the same order. So, these properties of repeaters make them extremely useful in a lot of things. You can have different lines of redstone going different places next to each other. You can delay, and then you can control where the current goes. One more use is that they can push current through a block. So here, I have a redstone torch powering a repeater, and here's just a redstone torch powering a wire, and the lamps, only the one with the repeater is lit up. The redstone torch powers this wire, goes into the block. If I just stick a torch here to turn it into a NOT gate, you can see that the block is getting power because this torch is turned off, but it's not strong enough to push it through and power this lamp. The repeater, on the other hand, is still powering this block, but the current, or the wire on the other side, can pick it up and keep going. This is incredibly useful when you're building stuff. It's also a pain in the ass when you have to use repeaters to power things and you accidentally power other things. So it's a double-edged sword. Be very careful about that, because I've wasted many hours trying to figure out what the problem is because of that. So yay, now I can finally show you an invention. Using this property of repeaters to push current through solid blocks, I'm just going to grab some random trees. Now, I originally invented this because on my survival mode file, my tree farm is far away from my house, so I wanted to be able to tell the distance if the trees are ready. So I plant my trees. Because the saplings are not solid blocks, the current cannot get through them, However, if I go find some bone meal and I make them grow, you'll see as soon as the trunk is there, it has a solid block, and the repeater can pick it up again. It's being stubborn. There we go. So as soon as all of the trunks are in place, it lights up. So yeah, this was a really cool way to tell the distance if my trees are grown, using the property that allows it to push through blocks. Another invention, really simple, is a doorbell. For this, we use the delay ability of the repeater. So let's say my girlfriend and I are playing Minecraft and she wants to come over to my house to find that I have replaced my wooden door with an iron one because of a zombie attack. So I can just hit a doorbell to notify me that she's here. So this is really simple. Button there powers this wire, goes into this repeater. The repeater powers this block, which, because it's pushing through the block, it powers the note block on top of it. Here's a second repeater with a delay, which is how we can distinguish between the two notes and doing the exact same thing with this block. So if I stand over here and do it again, you'll see the note blocks go off. So that's kind of how to use the delay application of a repeater. Now, this rarely comes up in my stuff, but it's usually very important for currents to go very long distances. Maybe you have some sort of mob farm, you want to stand in one place and shoot arrows somewhere else. I don't know. What I haven't discussed yet is that when you power a redstone wire, the wire can only carry the current for 15 blocks. The repeater, however, can pick up the signal, no matter how strong or weak it is, and retransmit it at full strength. So I have two trenches here. It's just a line of redstone lamps, both powered by a torch, both with a line of redstone wire the whole way down. But the difference is that one of them fizzles out early. Now to further illustrate that there's actually a power strength aspect involved, watch as I walk down these lines, the current will go from bright orange to a dull red. So a little bit more red, a little bit more red. Here, you see the red completely fizzled out. It's almost indistinguishable from the unpowered wire here. You can tell this is unpowered because it doesn't have the particle effect like this one. This one, on the other hand, still has its particle effect. It's a dull red. It would have died right there, but the repeater picked it up and allowed it to keep going. And it fizzled out again, and a new repeater picked it up and allowed it to keep going. So there is a couple applications of the redstone repeater. Hope you join me for my next video where I talk about another piece of redstone and how to use it.